Welcome back to M-Files Process Maps. In this session we will give you an overview of the workload charts functionalities, and we will show you the different types of charts and their vast customization capabilities. But before we go in depth, we should clarify right from the start that workload charts are optimized to work with a limited number of records. They work well with a couple of hundred objects in a view, but they are not designed as business intelligence systems to work on 10,000s or even millions of records. Let's face it, if you look at the workload for human interaction in M-Files, these are limited numbers. And therefore workload charts provide a tremendous benefit for any vault, as they are easy to configure and provide great insight. The idea behind workload charts is the visualization of the content of specific M-Files views using charting methodology, like in bar, pie, or line charts. These give users more details into aspects and dimensions, such as the workload of their colleagues, differentiation by time, object class, or urgency and priority. That's where workload charts offer a whole new level of clarity at both the user and the management level. The workload chart smart nodes can be found in the Smart Node tab on the right, in the Views drop-down menu. Like any other smart node, they can be added to the canvas via drag and drop. They first come up as raw, with a sample display. Next, an M-Files view has to be assigned to the node by dragging it from the left menu onto the node. Alternatively, you can directly drag a view from the left menu onto the empty canvas while holding the Control key to activate the Quick Choice menu. Here you can find all the possible representations for the view, including workload charts. The structure of these nodes consists of an icon in the top left, which can be clicked to reset the smart node to its original state. Right next to the icon is the view path, which uses hierarchical breadcrumbs to indicate the path of the current view and allows the user to navigate to different levels of the view. Below that is the item count, that shows the number of items in the connected view. In the top right, the individual node levels can be expanded or collapsed. Finally, the main section of the node is the charting area, which displays chart, legend, axis description, etc. Let's look at the details. When selected, the nodes can be customized in the Properties menu on the right. Let us go through the sections. The first section defines the limit for the data that is retrieved and if this number is displayed in the node. The second section concerns the icon. Here it can be deactivated entirely, the reset function upon click can be deactivated, and the visuals can be customized. The third section configures the path. It can be deactivated, and the navigation options like expanding and jumping can be toggled. The number of levels above and below the selected view displayed can be chosen and the visualization of the path configured. The next section toggles the node levels, and the colors for the expanding and collapsing buttons can be set in their enabled and disabled status. The metadata section describes the attributes for core information shown in the header, like the item count displayed under the icon of the smart node. The filter section allows to define content filters and how they shall appear. We will look at the details of these filter functions in a separate video. So for now, just know that it is here and that you can enable or disable it. The last and also very extensive section then deals with the chart, the data aggregation, the axis, legend, and many other properties. Editing the chart option opens a menu with many further options. First of all, the chart type can be selected. The 18 different chart types are column charts, which are the default. These show bars that indicate quantities with their height and are ideal for comparing values. A variation of this is the bar chart, which simply flips the column chart by 90 degrees. The line chart, which shows how a quantity has changed over time. Ideal for tracking annual earnings or number of monthly orders. Variations of the line chart are the area chart, which fills in the area under individual lines, and the profile chart, which turns the standard line chart by 90 degrees. The pie chart, which shows the composition of a category with a circle broken down into segments. It is ideal for showing the relationship of objects to the entirety of their category. An alternate version is the donut chart, which removes the fill from the center of the circle. The funnel chart indicates the progressive reduction of data between different phases of a process. It is ideal to show processes such as the acquisition of customers. Visually, the transitions between each phase are smooth. 3 variations of the funnel chart are available. A funnel box, which does not merge the transitions with smooth edges, but simply displays boxes instead, and horizontal versions of both the funnel and funnel box chart, which turn the respective charts by 90 degrees. XY charts, which come in 3 variations, the XY marker, the XY line, and the XY line and marker. Gauges, which are similar to column charts, but instead of vertical columns, the data is shown along the circumference of a semicircle. 3 other variations of gauges are available. The gauge pointer chart has arrows pointing to the corresponding values along the semicircle, like the tachometer of a car. The gauge value chart separates the semicircle into segments. The gauge 2/3 chart extends the semicircle to an arc that makes up 2/3 of a circle. Further options available in the chart menu, regardless of chart type selected, are data in rows, which can be used to flip values of the category axis and the legend, vary by categories, which when activated gives all series in the same category the same color. Theme allows you to switch between light and dark mode for the charting area. Furthermore, chart type specific options are displayed here as well. These include turning a column or bar chart into a stacked column or bar chart, making a pie chart 3D and rotating it, and changing the size of the hole in the donut chart. Other options in the chart section of the properties menu further customize the charting area. The first option can toggle the display of the charting area on or off. By default, only the elements directly in the selected view are processed into the chart. When Always Show Data is selected, all elements of the underlying views are also included. The title option allows you to add and customize a title to the charting area. The legend option can change the position of or entirely hide the legend. The series option allows you to customize the display mode for a specific property. Series labels can be toggled for each property individually to display the number of items in that series. Category axis configures the horizontal axis where the categories are usually located. Grid lines, the axis line, and the axis labels can be customized here. Category axis title is used to add and customize a title for the horizontal axis. Value axis allows the users to configure the vertical axis, where the quantity of elements is displayed. Additionally, a secondary axis can be added, and both can be configured independently of one another. The scale can be set to linear or logarithmic. Minima, maxima, and intervals can be defined. For the value axis, the same visual customization can be made as for the category axis. Value axis title works the same way as the category axis title, except it can be edited for both primary and secondary axis individually. Data series specifies the properties according to which the element of the chart are to be separated, for example individual lines in a line chart or columns in a column chart. The most important field in this window is the property selection. Selecting it gives a list of every property in your vault divided into segments. Here a property can be selected either directly or in relation to an object type. When a property related to an object type is selected, only elements of the corresponding object type are sorted. If the property is chosen directly, object type is irrelevant. By default, the property wildcard is selected, which does not sort elements into different data series. For properties that have a timescale, such as specific dates, the sorting can be aggregated. Here you can define how fine the sorting should be. A second grouping level can be specified to further refine the sorting of the elements, which can be aggregated as well. Other options in this menu can be used to display or hide both elements that do not match the selected criteria and elements that do not have an entry in the selected property. Data categories can be used to further divide the data series into categories. Depending on the chart type selected, these will be shown on the vertical or horizontal axis. In the Data Value menu, the parameter indicated by the data value axis can be selected. By default, this is the object count, but any property that refers to numeric values can be selected. As this is just a brief overview of the endless possibilities of the charting engine, we recommend you just start working with it. Pick a view and try to slice and dice it the way you want. Step by step, you will learn how to configure workload charts to your specific needs.